Now, so with this now, we've talked about how we can add things to our screen, but let's hope on Wednesday next week. So now, our add icon, add data, it's here. It's also here. Then we also have it here. So we're going to the desktop. We have the practical folder. This is it. And we have this topo sheet. So you'll always be prompted to generate pyramid unknown spatial, which is very true. Oh, beautiful. I love this. I love this. So this is a topo sheet of Ondo in 1 in 50. It's what we're going to use for easy for us to understand what georeferencing is all about. Now, there are different ways which you can georeference, but I always love this method because that will give students more understanding of what we're talking about. Now, always, if I'm using this method, I will have to generate a folder that will carry the coordinates parameter that I would use in georeferencing the topo sheet. So, and by doing it, I'm using a notepad, which I can come here. I have it here, notepad, but that would take me a longer period to start looking for the folder that I'm working in, my project folder. So what I always prefer to do is I'll come into the project folder and just right click and go to new, and I have my text document here, and I can say sheet 263. Okay, maybe northeast and so on. Okay, northeast to be more detailed, and I'll just say chord, which it simply means coordinate. So I will launch by double clicking this. Then I will also bring this one back. Then in this notepad now, I must tell the software the X, which is my longitude, and the Y, which is my latitude. So I'll put X, comma, Y. Then sometimes I may want to describe the location where the data has been collected from, so I can put it as Y. So can I make it bigger? No, I'm recording it, so it doesn't have to be bigger. So the next thing is, let me look at the coordinate value here. So the coordinate value, even though it's upside down, but let's look at it together. This is going to be, my X is going to be this, which is 4 degrees. But I won't use it as 45. I'll divide 45 by 60 because I want it to be in a decimal degree. So divide by 60, 45 divided by 60, 0.75. So this will be 4 plus that will give me 7.5, then comma, and I have this one. 30 divided by 60 is going to be 5. So 7 point, I can add 0, but 0 after it's of no significance. So this is going to be, because I've worked on topo a lot, so this is going to be my top left. So now let's look at the other coordinates on the other side. So this is going to be, the X is this, which is 5.00. If we want the decimal places, 7.3, 7.5. So we'll call this one top right. So let's go again. Let's check. So let's look at the value here. So the longitude will remain, which is the X. So it's going to be 4.75, comma. Then this one will change. So that will be 7.25. If you divide that, you see, if you divide 15 by 60, you're going to have 0.25. So this is going to be down right, down left. So you can see that the topo sheet is upside down. So take note of that, please. So here now again, we have the, so we're going to have 5.00, comma 7.25, and that'll be down right. So down, sorry. So we have the coordinate, we're keeping it, and I can close this since I've been able to extract all the coordinates. Then the next thing I will do is now, we have so many tools here, and the process that we want to do is called what? So I have a tool, either by coming to customize, tools, you see all other tools, or we just right click just on this environment and you see georeferencing. Also in this environment, the menus are arranged alphabetically. So we just pick on georeferencing and we have it here. Now, before you do anything, if you look at the drop-down menu, one is checked, the auto adjust is checked, you disable it. And the reason is this: if you don't want the system to help you in doing the process, you tell the software to disable the auto adjust. So once you disable the auto adjust, that means you're going to do the georeferencing on your own, wholly, completely, without the interference of the software. So don't forget, we have it upside down. Then we'll now bring in our coordinate value, the text value now. Now, if I bring it this way now, and I check, I won't be able to see anything about that text. But the thing is, I will have to right click and tell it that I want it to be displayed as XY data. So if you're picking this option now, it's not looking at the file. It's looking at the content of the file. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. You know, when we're adding this image, it's the image that we added. But if you're using add XY, it's not going to look at that file this time around. It's going to look at the content, which is the coordinates value that you need, which you have typed in. That's what it's going to be looking at. So here now, then it's now asking me, is X as my X and Y as my Y? If I agree to that, or assuming there are other fields that is carrying number, it will list them out. Then I'll pick the one that goes for X and the one that goes for Y. So the next thing I'll just pick on edit, because it's always better to tell it the spatial environment where we're working in. We're using GCS 1984. So we just click on OK. Then this one will always prompt you, and the reason is because the notepad doesn't have object ID, because normally when you're vectorizing, it will keep listing objects for you. Object 1, object 2, object 3. But with this method now, the software cannot list object 1, object 2. That's what is prompting us for. But we just tell it that, okay, don't worry about that. We still need the value to come. Look at the values. So now, can you now imagine? So this topo sheet from here to here to here to here is actually supposed to occupy. So it's actually overtaking space. In the real sense, by the time you finish your referencing, the whole of this topo sheet that you're seeing, it's supposed to be just this small area. So if you can imagine that we have so many topo sheets, imagine how many topo sheets that will have occupied this area if it's all georeference. We'll be talking about, if you look at this is 1. So on this line alone, we can have close to 20. And if you look at it, almost 20. So if you look at 2020, we're talking about this taking space of almost 400 topo sheets. I don't know if you're getting the explanation. So the next thing is, let's try to make sure everything falls in its place now. So let's try to, can you see, because I'm using the coordinate now, it's back, I can see it now. So I always love using this, the label. So it's telling me the environment which the data has been collected. Then the next thing is we just come to Windows, then we come to Viewer. So under the Viewer now, I'll try to get so close to those coordinate points so that I'll be able to, so I have those points now. Then the next thing is we want to start the process of georeferencing. So I'll move close to the first option here, which is the top left. So you actually start from the topo sheet. So then you have this option icon, which is add control point. So I'll pick here, which is the point of horizontal and vertical. I'll link it up with the top left here. Then I'll come this way again. We're not really bothered about accuracy now. We're bothered about understanding the process. So so this is our bottom left. So down left, then and sort of it snaps to that point. You see a ring around it. So I have the 4 points. I always rush to this place so that I don't make a mistake of clicking on the screen. Because if once I click on the screen, that means I still want to add some other points. So what I will do quickly, I will just click on this. So after that, I will just come here. I will update my display. Can you see? It has gone from here, but it's here. Then the next thing is I'll still come here. I'm actually supposed to rectify, but it's not really important because of the size of the file. Then the next thing is update georeferencing. So with this, I can close this. Then we can tell this uncle that we're so grateful for your assistance that you have rendered, and we just remove it. Then the next thing is we come to the image itself. We'll right click, then zoom to layer. So if we can close this one now, if you remember very well, this thing was upside down, but it's standing upright now. So you realize that no matter how an image turned, once you're able to get the coordinates right and you're able to follow the process correctly, whatever the direction, the image will take its proper position. Is it clear, please?
So instead of using Notepad, I also use Excel.
Yes. But sometimes Excel mess up, so except you know how to handle Excel, then you still have to go back to the file and start playing around with it. So if you know the process of playing around with Excel, you can use Excel. You can also use Excel as CSV. You can use Excel as Excel. You understand? But the one that I know will not give you much trouble, it's just this Notepad. So you can use Excel directly, or you convert Excel to CSV. It can still work. So with this now, let's be sure that what we're doing is making sense. This is 4 degrees, 45 minutes. This is 7 degrees, 30 minutes. Now, if you look at the bottom right, you should be able to see the coordinates there, which is in decimal degree. We use what? 4 degrees, 75, 4.75 degrees, and 7.5 degrees. But let's give the display the way that will be convenient for us by just right-clicking on the screen. Then we come to General. Just click on General tab. It's telling us that it doesn't know this one, but we'll resolve that one. Then the display. This is the map unit, because we're just georeferencing it. It should read the pattern or the coordinate method used. We're not supposed to actually to tamper with this. If it's done, then this one is just for display purpose. Now, how do you want to be reading your coordinate on your screen? So then you just come here and tell it that I want to be seeing it as degrees, minute, and seconds. So apply, then OK. So if I bring my mouse here and I check bottom right now, I should be seeing something like 4 degrees, 45 minutes, 0.624 seconds east, then 7 degrees, 30 minutes, 0.461 north. So this topo sheet now is georeference. So anything, let me see, this is Ondo, this is Iloro, Enyigun, or whatever. If I, with my mouse here now, the coordinate here corresponds to the location of this town, of that settlement on the ground. If I move on again, this is another Iloro. No, we don't want any. Let's look for a big town, if there's any on this topo sheet. Which town is this? Ipetu. This is just Ipetu in Ondo, so it's one of the Ipetu. I don't know, is it the Ipetu on their way to Akure? If it is the Ipetu on the way to Akure, this is the major road. This is part. So now, if I'm going to Ipetu, if I have a navigator, I can actually use these values here, put it in the navigator, and tell the navigator I'm going to this place. So this should take me to this town, because this value that we're checking falls inside Ipetu. So everything we're extracting here now is going to be georeference, or it's going to carry the coordinates in the parameters. Is it okay, please? Is it okay, please? Thank you so much. Can I take your questions?